Hello, this is Zenobia Reynolds Parks, and I am going to start recording my videos and then posting them on YouTube. I am now getting flagged on Facebook, and that is a social media space, and it's freedom of speech. And I am only giving out information that pertains to my local area. And that would come from, be it about the remote learning situation, voting, and voting some more in this remote learning and coronavirus. So, we have been trying to do this remote learning as successfully as we can, and that we have eyes on everyone's house. We do. So, one, I don't, and did not want my child to have a email address that was given to them and made for them by the district offices, because they had to hurry up and put this remote learning and tablets and Google Classrooms together. We were thrown together real fast. Elementary school children should not have an email address unless that parent set it up for them. So this parent has spoken up about that. We were given books and the technology a few days before school started. Passcodes and links did not work. How they went about obtaining email addresses was against our students' constitutional rights. They are not adults. I'm sure Google does not want this younger lawsuit from anybody, parent, because school district has, I promise you, if you open up a new Gmail account, that question is, are you over the age of 18? Click the box. If you are a minor, do you have your parents' consent? And the email goes to the parent before you can move on. So if you have any children that has like a Nintendo Switch or a Wii or something like that, and you have installed the parent controls, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. They can't even go forward on setting up anything until it goes to their parents, the adult or guardian's email account first, and you give that permission to Google to allow that minor's Gmail to go through, account to go through. That wasn't shared to everyone. The links were broken. And then we have a lot that we have to do. We are learning on the go. So I know that my voice has become more than just the girl in the neighborhood, and that I ran for U.S. delegate, so I've educated myself a lot since October of 2019, and I've shared as much as I can along the way. Um, my voice has been, let me see. Oh, I heard through the streets that I was getting a assist and desist on my public space called Facebook for telling what we going through, explaining it, because we all going through it together. Now, if we won't keep sitting in silence, we won't get anything done. We won't. Um, the main point of this is that we all have eyes on everybody's house. So what makes anybody think that they would be feeling comfortable with that and wouldn't have something to say? Seeing as though our voices aren't being heard, and that we're doing whatever under the direction of whomever, as far as our school system, having our hands tied. So I'm not going to allow my hands to be tied by the locals enjoying my Facebook feeds. I can jump up higher, and I was only doing it to work on my tone, speech, and diction. So I was ready to be able to post onto my own space of the universe on YouTube channel. I really didn't want to do this for views and likes, but please share, because we have to vote in 30 days, right? November 3rd, vote, vote, vote. And locally is so much more important where I am from because of gerrymandering, and then we have public schools and charter schools all trying to get the same amount of money from a community of renters. And they don't acknowledge the renters, and so you need to not act like our opinion counts until this one renter decided to let you know that her opinion and her voice does count. It does matter. And I'm speaking on behalf of working parents who are entrusting our schools to educate our children properly and to the best of their ability, not to the best of my ability, parent, when we send them to you and you receive public dollars to educate them properly. So I'm not apologizing for saying exactly what's going on. And if you have a special needs learner, nothing about this is their reasonable accommodation. Nothing about this. We haven't even had those meetings. So if my voice will be censored, and if someone's going to really have that much of personal time to escalate my videos so someone can watch it upstairs in Facebook, and as long as I'm not saying any names, slandering, and or using musical and this is original content, it will go through. But until it goes through, I can always work on it again, save it for myself, and use it again as a reel. Because entertainment is what I do. Well, my free time, hobby time. And I had to work on speech and diction and tone. And to not take things too personal. Because I already knew this was going to happen. As small as my little face is on Facebook. If you have a friend of a friend and you don't know who my friends are, or if you're a friend of a friend and you're not doing right by the people, that is not of my concern. I am just to advocate and share the information. So today we talked about remote learning before they, put me on Facebook jail. I don't even know what that is. And I'm a law-abiding citizen with a voice and can use her constitutional right. Correct? All of the hate speech, hate text, hate that is being spewed by men of color, those are going through just fine. Why mine that are so full of information, public information, and we don't have a local news outlet to talk about it to each other, except for Nextdoor. And again, I was kicked out of Nextdoor before Nextdoor even got started because somebody didn't want me to tell what was going on in the meetings. But you could have went to the meetings yourself. Same thing again. You could have sat through all these meetings yourself, and I'm just a messenger. So please stop shooting your bullets at the messenger. I'm not saying anything that you all aren't hearing on the Breakfast Club, that you're not listening to Bill Maher on Fridays, and it's actually very sad and sexist that it continues to keep happening on my Facebook page where people actually think they know me. No. Unless I let you know me, no. So that was, again, some more disappointment, but I know who that is. They'll have to see me at church. They'll have to see me out someplace. So again, these are child games that adults are doing, and we need to vote. Vote. Locally and here, federal, nationally, to change out. I'm riding the blue wave. I'm with the Democratic Party. That's what I know. DNC all day, the blue wave. So whatever they talking about is what I've been talking about, and that's what we supposed to keep doing. So it's great that you all keep wanting to flag my Facebook videos, because they don't have to be on Facebook. I can continue to keep retweeting it from YouTube or from Twitter. I don't know, somebody really has too much free time, or either I'm really speaking to who needs to hear. We saw that Cook County South had a streamlined relief fund that was only offered to the Chicago zip codes. Now we have one Southland. Thank you. Now what if I had not said anything? What if I had been pushing and staying on our legislators' bumpers like the men been telling us to do? Like everyone's been saying throughout the DNC. But for whatever reason, somebody in that little 300 of who's supposed to know me on Facebook is flagging my post today. On Friday, Friday's the most educational post of them all because I'm no longer in my feelings and I have now summarized what's going on. A debate was taking place on Capitol Hill this week. Maybe they didn't want me to let y'all know about that, but it was on C-SPAN. And they were finding out that minority ladies who English is not their first language was having elective, because those hysterectomies are elective, surgery done without them knowing what was going on, removing body parts. And now that has been put up to the House for debate. We're going to talk about that. We already have them so many anyway because that's the cure for getting rid of pain for women whose menstrual cycles don't do what it's supposed to do. And it causes scar tissue that builds up in our bodies unless we go and have the scope done. It will be sitting with us and turning into stuff and adapting onto organs and turning into stuff later as years and decades go on. It's been sitting there. I've been scraped 7 times. I've had a full hysterectomy. And what they do with the parts after that, I don't know. But on the debate floor, I just couldn't take any more and turned it off. But I did see that they were trying to put PPP through as a separate bill, and it's all included, and it's sitting on the Senate floor. They weren't going to go back. At least Pennsylvania stood firm and didn't allow it to go through. And now your commander-in-chief also has it after he tried to make it seem like it wasn't a big deal. No, it was life or death and a lot of people, and they didn't even know that it was going to be life and death to them until they were gone. So we stand at 205,000 lives lost. And now your commander-in-chief and first lady have it, and we will watch them go through quarantine, COVID-19 protocol at the White House with their staff of people who they've been around for months on months. So just think about the contact tracing or whomever has been around the 2 people now positive for coronavirus, COVID-19. Now they could be asymptomatic and we don't know, positive and be a carrier and not have no symptoms. It's a lot of things we don't know about coronavirus until the antidote, until we have the vaccine, and that's still going to take 2 and 3 months and months before we can get that FDA approval, before we can go to market with it, and before it's going to be readily available to everyone, I hope, at least our children. I know people do not like to be called out when they are performing poorly. So this remote learning is really showing what the public dollars are being spent on and which communities are not having these remote learning problems, not one bit. So we are being able to see how one group of people, depending on their zip code, is being taught, and we are watching some of our zip codes not be taught and be told that our students are going to fail, or they're going to fail and they're going to fail, you know. A list went out on how many students didn't take this STAR test. I know it was a mass email to everyone. Should she have to send out individual emails to every student's parent? Should it have... I don't know what the best solution was that for. But everybody's name and the last 3 digits of the student ID and the longer list of however many people that she's assigned to who haven't taken it. When were they instructed to do it while you had them on your time from 8 o'clock until 3:30 the whole day? When did you say to the student, well, here's your time spot to take your STAR 360 with me, and then please go get the parent that is on duty with you so we can get this accomplished? See their solution? I'm not upset, but this is how it's going to work. So now, seeing as though we're just getting emails at 5 o'clock on a whole roster of students who didn't take the test, mine included, because I'm not in high school. He has to speak up for himself. And that's what his accommodations say that he must do. And there's an auditory piece and a transcribing piece that is supposed to be attached to my learner that is not being done. I know. Those who in the know is they watching. And we're sharing it amongst each other. And now that we're sharing it, they got to cut off the source, which is me. So that fine. I have spoken up, did what I was supposed to do, ran for office just to get this information. And now that I have the information, I am to share it. And I am to call and ask on what I can do more and how can I help more DNC. That is what I am to do. So you can either do more or be complacent, not know what your child is supposed to be getting, and continue to keep letting your advocates be silenced on these platforms. That's why we end up having to jump higher than our local, and then we don't stay local. Because again, this is harassment as far as I'm concerned. Because I'm only doing what I'm supposed to do, which is speak on the truth and the facts as they're presented in the news and meetings and Zoom calls and DNC and those who are making our decisions for us. So to constantly now to be flagged, to be told by a third party person that somebody was fin to send me a cease and desist letter for doing the people's work. I don't really know how to take that, but except for continue to work on my tone and diction and let you know that I'm continue to stand strong. And I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to change the vehicle to which the information is being shared. So I did have stuff established and have been doing tech and working through blogs and all these things, technology that we're supposed to do. Getting your master's doing your doctorate piece of paperwork here. So again, sharing is caring, and you're supposed to collaboratively, share some resources like Camtasia would be great, Storyline and Articulate to help us through some of these remote learning problems. And a lot of the trainers of trainers who've trained for other corporations have that knowledge sitting at the house, being highly disappointed on what our public schools is giving our children as their instructional design piece. So this is Synovia wife and Synovia Reynolds Parks, and I'm streaming from Wifey Life TV, the brand I started in 2016. So here we go again, starting anew, starting afresh, putting the content back out there, original content, as I've been doing. So again, I didn't understand why, but I do know why. Someone has too much free time on Facebook, and I must be saying the good, right thing and sharing that good, right word about what's going on. So this was Friday. This was Snow's World, and when I go back and upload it, it'll be Snow's World. And thank you so much for continuing to be what I don't want to be bothered with. Thank you for showing me that I thought that we could do better as a people, and this is what we do. And when I have to go and speak in front of other people that don't look like me, it is very hard to defend our point if this is what we continue to do locally where we lay. So I'm going to leave that right there. And I started my own little mantra. If no one told you today that they love you, I will. And if no one told you today that you were special, I will. And if no one told you today that you were great, you were great. This is Synovia Reynolds Parks. And thank you to those who are on my Facebook feed for blocking these blessings and helping me push on through to YouTube. Because it was Friday and I was ready to go, lighting, hair, and makeup. Thank you. I did give a shout out to Miss Illinois American Nation for pulling up to UP with a truck full of food. It don't have to be me long as the people get the resources that they need. So if you tell me that you need something, and then I say share it with somebody else, look at how the blessings just popped up. Poof! It wasn't me, but it was done. So remember that. The more you try to block somebody's blessing and stop somebody from doing the people's work don't stop. They don't. You just amplify our voices to have more people watching us some more, which is what I didn't want to do. So now that I have these social media spaces that I've set up years and years ago, and I keep being asked what I do, and today the unemployment office, she did, wait, you have a W-2 from, are you a core actor? I've never said that. I just say I go do background. But yes, that is what it says on my W-2, which should have been a 1099, that this is what I do. Just afraid to step out on faith and keep doing it and sharing the information to a larger group of people than just at 350. And since I ran for office, I am now at like 1,500 people. I didn't want that. So thank you for those who have followed me on Facebook. And now we must convert over here to YouTube space. And well, I guess once those numbers match over here on YouTube, then YouTube's algorithm does what it does. And then they start offering stuff, offering to send you more light. They offer to get some things done so you can grow your television channel on YouTube. And I started off with my brand, wifeylife.com. You can go there. And I had to work through some things because nobody knows how to be a wife until you walking in it and you learn and you fall and get up and you make mistakes like that. I'm learning on the go, and we're doing this with smartphones. So please bear with me. I'm working on it. Some more YouTube space. Thank you to all of those on YouTube. On Facebook, for keeping on flagging me. And so they can listen to it later. And it sits in somebody's queue to listen to hear that I had said nothing about nobody except for my personal experience, which I'm free to share as long as it's original content. Content creation is what I do. And I've been taking story writing and directing class on the side. So I'm planning to turn my dreams into reality. So thank you for allowing that crutch of Facebook so I can do this here and cut it up, maybe edit it a little bit, add some music from Tidal because I have my Tidal subscription, and the music on copyright, if I'm not making any money off of this, is fair use. So here I go, jumping higher. It's Friday. Why not? We got 30 more days until the election, November 3rd. Please get out to vote. Get out to vote. Because the mere fact that I'm actually on YouTube and will be uploading the videos is because somewhere local, somebody had way too much free time and then put me on Facebook jail. So I don't know how many of those infractions of somebody not liking what you have to say before you instantly go there. Because I did stream last night. That video was able to go just fine. So I must have got put on jail last night, and they must now review my videos before they release it. That's not freedom of speech. That's being censored. And that's not the democracy that we live in. So you're not going to take away my freedom of speech, and the democracy is going through the tankers. Thank you, Facebook followers, day 1 and 2 or whomever. Because the only thing you did was tell me to just grow up and glow up some more. So now these retweets can go directly to Twitter and go directly to Facebook. And again, you can choose to not watch, just like you could have choose to not watch it on Facebook. So now I'll just reshare that link, and you have to go find me on my Facebook channel, which also has its own EIN number 222. Who is out here not doing business as themselves and establishing themselves? We are so too old to still be thinking like worker bees. So I'll say it like that. It's about as nice as I can do that, because once you learn it and you know how to do it, you go buy the toys and you invest in yourself, like lights and cameras and this and that and other and the third. So yes, I've taken screenwriting, director's class, learning how to do, I've already been doing the background extra work. What I was afraid of was speech, tone, and diction, and making sure my linguistic skills were up to par. My dyslexia just was revealed to me as I was going through my doctorate degree and numbers and letters, and I was just like, I couldn't even believe that I was writing like that. That just came to me in like 21st grade. And people in student loan debt out of this world, and we're the next entrepreneurs. We are the next group of CEOs, and we have invested in our futures, our education. We weren't that most fiscally responsible in our 20s. Who wasn't? And now we can do better, fix some things, and grow up and glow up. So that's why I'm at with it, having to go back and fix some things, step back from some things. And nothing about that situation on Facebook was that needy to me, as long as the information was told. And the only way to get the information is that I had to go research, look it up, watch the news, watch C-SPAN, and piece all that together and created Snow in the House on Facebook. Snow's World is where it started at on YouTube. But I wanted to stay local and ran for office, so I couldn't do all of the things. Be a mom, be a wife, start a business, keep educating the people, run for office, shake hands, kiss your babies, everything, and understand what was going on from top to bottom, federal government. So now I'm a little bit more well-versed than I was before coronavirus, and we have 30 more days. So I have 30 more days to give you all maybe 30 days of videos. I don't know. I don't know yet. I was doing Snow in the House every day on Facebook to build that audience to 1,500. And that's not really a whole lot because I have so many people sitting in the queue of being their request to get onto my page because I didn't want it to grow to 5,000. But if the lock is out on Facebook at like 5,000 people, I didn't meet 5,000. No, I did. Yeah, I did. Yes, throughout trying to become U.S. delegate, I did. So, this is your girl, Synovia Reynolds Parks. Some of you all know me from doing the Yang Gang videos and running for office. Not knowing what I was doing. Had a lot of fun. So, I'm back again to restart them up again. Now, I've worked on tone, speech, and diction. Educated myself some more on the election process. I learned some more about the Electoral College. I found out the numbers and stats to why we didn't go with her and listened to why y'all didn't vote for her. And this is the result of that. So if we would like to repeat this, but not going with Joe and Kamala Harris, if we like this way of living, remote learning, no vaccine, shuttered in place, and hearing about what's going on through C-SPAN and 257932, that's it. Everything else is leisurely fun and entertainment on the television. So this is another vote, 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 vote. Please vote. Your vote counts. And in order for Biden to win, we must win the popular vote by 5 to 6% over Trump. That's it. Yes. So the Electoral College votes won't necessarily matter. Hillary didn't win by that landslide that we needed her to do. It wasn't a high enough. The Electoral College called the elections. We did not have enough mail-in ballots to get her to be up enough. She won the popular vote. You would think the popular vote it wasn't enough. The margin was like 1%, 2%, something like that. And she won by. So now we know that Joe and Kamala must win by 5 to 6% over whatever going on the Republican Party. DNCs, we're going with the DNC, riding with the DNC, riding with Joe. We got to get everybody out to vote. And obviously, if you do not receive your paper ballot, maybe that's why my Facebook post was cut. Because maybe I told the right thing because I didn't have anybody answer the question. The question was presented a week ago. If the ballots don't come, Are we to still go in person, early vote, early vote, early vote? And if our ballots don't come between October 15th, what are we to do? Because I won't be feeling comfortable, American person, to know if my vote counts and it matters if I know I have not postmarked my envelope at least by October 15th. I'm so not playing with the post office, and I'm so not trusting it to get to where it need to be. Illinois. You get what I'm saying? Our balance is going to be counted here. It's not going off any place else. It will be counted here. But am I trusting it to get to where it need to be? We have unsolicited ballots being put in at the resident's house. Whomever that might be. It might be a renter. So there might be an unsolicited ballot sitting in a renter's home with nobody in it right now, for all we know. We don't know. We won't know. But if you want to be sure, early vote so they can cancel out that paper ballot. Go stand up for yourself in person and go vote, and vote early. So we aren't standing outside around the corner and out. It's going to be cold. Fall and winter is going to come here so fast because that's what Mother Nature needs to do to cool down her core. Global warming is real. This is what we need to talk about. As those aren't the issues we're talking about. Global warming, this global pandemic is all due to climate change. And we wanted to deny climate change. And now your commander-in-chief is inflicted with it. And so is the First Lady. We wish them a speedy recovery. That's the Jesus in me. Because I not to be mad. This is who you all voted for. I did, and I voted for her. So, and I vote my interests local, and I show up for primaries and midterms. Now, if everybody don't do that, and I also go to local meetings with a notepad and have been doing my civic duty of sharing the information to locals and whoever's under the sound of my voice and under my social media platforms. That's what I've chosen to do with my freedom of speech. Thank you to those platforms that this stuff is free 99. So somebody would really have to go in. If that's a lot. With all of this hate that's going on, I'm not on social media like that unless I'm coming back to you all with some facts and some things I've learned because of watching the men not be able to communicate how angry they are with hate speech. It's not cool. With bad words and throwing out racial slurs does not help the cause. It does not. It makes you look like you can't find words that you need to say to get your point across without using bad grammar or a bad word or improper word, or it's not being PG-13. See, a lot of folks like to see me spazzing out or being funny. There's nothing funny, and this is not a laughing matter. Coronavirus is killing our black boys, black men at alarming rates, and the elderly. Oh my gosh, we are at 205K. 205,000 lives. That's a lot. And that's just the coronavirus, not to the people dying for underlying conditions. For underlying conditions, people are getting up out of here. And we don't know what coronavirus does to those with underlying conditions. Is it escalating? Man, I don't know. I do know I've hurting, and RA don't play. And those who suffer with lupus and Crohn's disease, they have been going through it during coronavirus. So yes, we would really need an antidote or something that we can take really fast, because the internal pain is an internal pain. It affects us here. Because if you're living with it, you just go on with your day. You keep on moving. It's when you're not moving and when you go to sleep and your body trying to recharge and you get up the next day, that's when you know what's wrong with you. So I am speaking to you 42 and then had a hysterectomy, and menopause sits on this shoulder like it ain't nobody business. And I've been trying to keep her calm and tamed down for the last 5 years. Mm-mm-mm. Hard, hard, hard. So I'm going to end that there. This will be my re-entry back into the YouTube space. So please reshare or repost, like and subscribe below. Like, I've watched a whole lot of other people's videos. Like and subscribe below and share. Because sharing is caring. And the more you know, the more we grow. And that this election is very important. All of them are very important because it dictates how we move at the state level and at the federal level and at your local level, like your local down level. They're making those everyday social norms decisions for you as we wait for election day in 30 days, November 3rd, and crossing our fingers that the popular vote is over the 5 and 6% threshold to get Joe and Kamala into office. That's a lot of work, y'all. That's a lot of people. And we already know that the stats said 40% of African Americans did not even participate, ever, never know. So some people are going to be able to vote for the first time. Students away at college, you're 18, you're 21, you're good and grown and fancy free, please vote. You just got your rights back because you was a convicted felon or had some charges or had some stuff on your record. Ooh, now you're able to vote for the first time. If you are in a correction facility, awaiting trial, haven't posted bail yet, the accommodation for you is you still should be able to vote on November 3rd and or vote early. However they plan to do that, I don't know. That's not where I work at, so I don't know. So I'm going to end that right there. This is Synovia Reynolds Parks. This is Wifey Life TV. We're rebranding and coming back and working on some things to make it better. Outside of smartphones and lights, you know. And if nobody told you today that they love you, if nobody told you today they love you, I will. And if nobody told you that you were special, you're special. And if nobody told you you were great, you are great. I am Synovia Reynolds Parks. This is Snow's World. And I'm bringing you the local news the best way I know how and to my level of understanding. And if you have any comments, wish to share something or know something that I don't know, please put it in the comments. I'm reading everything. And thank you so much for watching. And y'all be blessed.